So we all understand the NFL is the king of sports, right? The NFL has dominated the NBA, it has dominated Major League Baseball, and it is leagues above everything else. It is, throughout American history, as far as sports are concerned, Major League Baseball held the title, then the NBA took it during the Michael Jordan era, Magic, Bird going into Michael, and then the NFL has had it for convincingly the last 15 years or so, where it has just become a monster unto itself. And these are all businesses, and all these businesses have ideas and ways to promote themselves. The NBA has what I think has actually turned out to be a really brilliant idea, is the in-season tournament. I did not like the in-season tournament when I first saw it or when I first heard of it, but the way, even the courts, I'm not going to lie to you, I like the courts. They look weird, they're super colorful, they're really bright, but I like the courts. It just gives the NBA, it is a way of promoting itself and saying, hey, this is a big game. Hey, this is different than an average Tuesday night game in November. So the NBA is actually a really good job with that. Major League Baseball, make the game shorter. We're losing fans. Attention spans are shorter than ever. Let's get a pitch clock. Let's start moving this up because we are losing too many viewers. And that's what businesses that inherently know they're in second place have to do. They just have to make themselves better. When you're the business that's in the lead, when you are the Walmart, you are the Amazon, when you are take your big Fortune 500 company or take your big tech company, when you know you're in the lead, you start swinging at other guys. And you take full advantage of the fact of you know how big you are in this space and you know how much power you truly have from both a marketable and a fiscal position. And that's what the NFL is doing. The NFL, I don't know if you know this, just got Beyonce to do the halftime show for the Texans-Baltimore game on Christmas. Historically, Christmas has always been owned by the NBA. We all sit down with our families. Then 10 a.m. rolls around if we're on the West Coast, and we start ignoring our families, and we have 4 to 5 basketball games. And it's been a glorious day for the NBA and one of their big days of the year forever. And the NFL said, we're bigger than you. We're more popular than you. We're going to put a big-time game between arguably the guy who's in the lead to be the 3-time MVP of the National Football League, and we're going to put the other guy who's the reigning Rookie of the Year, one of the bright young stars in the NFL, and oh yeah, by the way, we're also bringing Beyonce. What do you do if you're the NBA? Because the NBA, again, I just said I actually like the in-season tournament, what they've been doing. But that doesn't take away from the fact of the NFL knowing how big it is, knowing how popular it is, knowing how much power it has. It's taking a big swing to say, we're going to knock you out of the spot. Yeah, Christmas has been the NBA forever. We're going to change that. And the NBA is already struggling. The NBA has, its ratings are down, its viewership is down. People, the way they just talk about the sport, the product on the court is down. Guys are missing games. Guys are sitting out. Load management. Everyone's shooting threes. The NBA already has all of these problems. And now the train that is the NFL coming 100 miles an hour. Now, you're never going to lose one of these giant sports leagues. They're all too big to fail, as they say. But the NBA has a real problem on its hand. Now, the other part of this is the NBA. The other part of the NBA's problem is what it's doing currently is really good for its players. Guys are making more money than they've ever made. Guys are getting more sponsorships than they've ever made. And guys who are more skilled are getting rewarded more than they ever had. Except all that stuff does nothing for the fans. No one gives a rip if the Supermax is now X amount of $1 million a year, and Luka is going to be making $70 million a year. When Victor Wembanyama, when his time comes up, he could potentially be making $90 million a year. We don't give a rip as the fans. So the fans, it's working for the players. They're going to make more money. They're actually playing an easier game because of rules on defense and the fact because it is so three-point oriented. Guys don't even have to run, as stupid as this sounds, a full NBA court to play a game anymore. You can damn near run three-point line to three-point line. So it's easier on them. Defense isn't enforced the same way, and they're making more money than they've ever made. and the fans are leaving. Again, too big to fail, and no one's going to totally give up the game of basketball or the NBA. But there's also a leadership problem in the NBA. Tony tweeted this out, and I 1,000% believe him. In business, there's just certain guys you don't fuck with. They just have created a reputation by their actions or their demeanor, and everybody kind of knows when they're doing something, you stay away, either out of respect, fear, or an understanding of it's just gonna be bad. David Stern was that for the NBA. David Stern was no bullshit. A lot of the stuff that flies today would not fly with David Stern. I don't think the NFL would do this to David Stern. I don't think they would encroach on Christmas so hard where not only did they make sure to schedule potential MVP, the reigning MVP, and the reigning Rookie of the Year, big game, and we're going to get Beyonce. I don't think they do that if David Stern is still the commissioner of the NBA. The fact is, Roger Goodell just does not respect Adam Silver. The fact is, right now, a lot of the players just don't seem to respect Adam Silver. Adam Silver is one of those guys, I don't know him, obviously, but the perception and the way people are treating him, the facts that we have, that we can all see, he is a hand me out, I'm going to give you, and because he keeps on giving and he has no real line on when to say, hey, I'm going to stop giving, I'm going to start being like the boss or the manager, the guy in charge. I'm going to make the hard decision to say, no, we're not doing this. He's never done that. And so everybody keeps taking and taking and taking. And now we're seeing the result of that. The product on the court, all the issues with the ratings, and the NFL. And now the NFL's taking a big swing at you. And Adam, your response cannot be, why are NBA ratings down? Well, because of the presidential election and the World Series. Adam, those are recurring events. You know those are going to happen. You are aware there's a World Series every year. I know a lot of us haven't watched as much baseball in the past, but there's a World Series every single year. There's a presidential election every 4 years. There's midterm every 2 years. Like, these are things that you can foresee. These are not valid reasons for you to say, well, that's why viewership is down. So the NBA's got a huge problem, and the NFL sees it. They're taking advantage of an opportunity, and they are swinging. NBA's got a problem, man. The NFL, they're coming 100 miles an hour. They don't care. It's get out of their way. They're the biggest thing on the block. They're the biggest and baddest business, and they are setting the rules. Let's transition from the NFL to NFL media. And I think this is ironic, and normally I save most of my Bronco topics for Tuesday, but this one's gotten pretty big over the last 24 hours. Now, the media never really likes to admit they're wrong because they want to hold this air of, I'm smarter than you. That's why you come to listen to me. I know more than you. That's why you watch my podcast or you go to my YouTube channel. Because I'm smarter, because I know more, because I'm more this than you. I need to prove a point. I believe if someone trying to do the same thing, that's really stupid, and that's why we have hard right and hard left, is because, yeah, sometimes I am really smart, but it's my own opinion, and sometimes I'm really wrong, but it's my own opinion. And it's just my job to give it to you in a creative or interesting way. It's not to prove some point if I'm smarter than you or not. But a lot of legacy media, a lot of especially the insiders, a lot of the guys that have been on ESPN, FS1 for however many years, they want to be right. And so Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos, they beat the Atlanta Falcons 38-6. And the discourse is not, wow, look at what Denver's doing, look at what Sean Payton's doing, wow, look at the trajectory of this roster. It's, well, actually, is Atlanta very good? Are they? All I heard all week was Denver potentially is going to lose twice because they're going to be so mentally distraught from the Chiefs game and the blocked field goal that they're actually going to lose 2 games. They're going to lose that game to the Chiefs, and they're going to lose the game to the Falcons because they're going to be too distraught, can't pick themselves up emotionally. But it's not Sean Payton doing a great year in year 2 in Denver and why he should be in consideration. I don't think he'll win it, but it should be in consideration for Coach of the Year. It's not, Bo Nix should be in consideration for Offensive Rookie of the Year. It's not, oh, look at Denver's offensive line. Look how much better it's gotten in the year and a half under Sean Payton. It's, well, yeah, Bo had a good game, but yeah, the Falcons maybe weren't that good. It's all these excuses. It's all these, like, and then it was great. I went on Twitter today, and Bronco fans were trending because now we're suddenly the most annoying fan base in the NFL, because after hearing since draft night how awful Bo Nix was, how terrible he is, how, oh my gosh, I can't believe they drafted him 12th overall. After hearing that for months and months and months, and then you saw the Chiefs game, which they could have won, and then you see them dominate the Falcons, and they swept the NFC South, and now that we're saying, hey, look at us, our team's getting better. Look what Bo Nix has done. By the way, he's the offensive rookie of the month. By the way, he was just a flat-out FedEx Air player of the week. By the way, he did something historically that no quarterback has ever done in the history of the NFL as a rookie. Yeah, we're here to say, look at us. Look at the improvement. Look at how good they're doing. And media members, people on Twitter are like, no. I mean, like, he had the numbers, but it's really not that. And then I got to hear this, and this is my favorite one. We'll close out here. It was expectations is the only reason why people are so high on Bo Nix. And that is, well, your expectations, heard this day on TV. Caleb Williams loses a game to a blocked field goal, and the feeling is he didn't play well enough. Bo Nix loses a game on a blocked field goal, and the expectation is, or the consensus is, wow, look how good that was for him. And while that could be true, it's also not like Caleb gets the benefit of expectations, and Jaden Daniels gets the benefit of expectations. These guys were drafted in the top 5. They were the top 2 picks back-to-back of the NFL draft. Caleb was a generational prospect. Jaden was coming off a Heisman year. They were considered to be these huge home run, big-time franchise quarterbacks. Bo was supposed to be a bust. So when Bo started playing well about 2 months ago, it's just Bo Nix, you don't really care. It's just Bo Nix, whatever. Remember, I came on here after the Jets game, and what was trending during the Jets game? Look at Bo Nix' halftime stats. You looked at his halftime stats ever since the Jets game? Looked at his halftime stats against Atlanta? You looked at his halftime stats against Kansas City? Like, if you're wrong, just say you're wrong and move on. It's okay. I do it every Monday. Hey, this is what I was right about. This is what I was wrong about. It's okay. You're not, just because people can just like you because you're interesting or you're clever or you're funny. You don't always have to be right when it comes to your takes. It's okay. Media, I promise you, it's okay. We're going to take a short break here. When we come back, though, we got a special interview today. It's first-time person coming on. What team is trying to write a really, really expensive apology letter to its fan base? This is HardFoul Radio. We'll be back momentarily.